We live in Netherlands and we did a day trip to Efteling. During winter Efteling, the park runs from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock. However, by the time we reached, it was already 11, and by the time we walked in, it was 12 because the parking it was a pretty crowded day, and the parking was really huge and really far from the park, so we had to walk a bit to reach to the park entrance, and it took around 30 minutes for us. We're a family of four. We have a kid who is less than 1.2 meters. There are certain restrictions on some of the rides where the kids cannot go if they're below 1.2. So we have focused on covering areas that are more interesting for my kids. So we started with the Fairytale Forest. There are quite some interesting fairy tales over here, ranging from Cinderella, Hansel and Gretel. There's a mermaid story as well. There's a frog prince, Indian water lilies. They were really, really interesting for the kids. It's something that we can go as a family with younger kids. The elder kids might not really enjoy it. They might not relate to it. But this place is really good when you have toddlers. It is a pretty big park, so it's difficult for the toddlers to walk by themselves. I would suggest you take a stroller along with you if you have one, and if you don't have one, don't worry, they have strollers at the gate. Yeah, I think you might have to pay for it, I'm not sure. But yeah, you'll have to take it to have an easy day, or else it's going to be very difficult. So our focus, like I said, was mostly towards the area where it was for toddlers and a bit of ride for my son. He's 10 years. So we focused on the left side and the park where we have the fairy tale forest. Then there is a park show called Rameline. Then there is a room flood, an indoor show on the right, and then there are some play areas for the kids. And there's also the Ferris wheel, or they call merry-go-round over there. That was the Hansel and Gretel house, and then this is the water lilies. So you go into a kind of a cave, and there is a little show that happens there. So in Efteling, you see quite some areas where there are shows in the dark, and it would be really interesting. They are really cute. Most of the these rides, the stories are said in Dutch, but I guess some of them you can really follow because it's more or less the experience than the language. So as an expat, I don't speak Dutch, but then I really enjoyed these shows. So this was also a live show about the Christmas time, and it was really fun. And since it was winter Efteling, the decor was like awesome. There was the snow-filled Christmas trees everywhere. There was an ice rink. There was lighting everywhere. By the time it turned around 4 o'clock, like everything was lit up. And by the time it got darker, it was really, really cool. And then we took a ride called Pagode. I hope I'm getting the word right, but it takes you high up and you get a 360-degree view. One unique thing about this park is it is less like an amusement park and more like a theme park in a forest. And by that, what happens is you don't really see any other rides when you're walking in one particular area. So it keeps that enthusiasm up, the curiosity up. You don't know what comes ahead. Of course, you see in the map, but you cannot see any other rides around. Unlike other parks where is it really flat and you can really get a view of other things around. Coming to the roller coasters, we haven't explored much because there is height restriction there. There was one ride that we went which allowed all four of us. It's called Family Ride. It allows kids who are greater than 1 meter. Luckily, my daughter is greater than 1 meter, so all four of us could go there. And we also went for a ride called Four Wheel Rock, and the minimum height for that was 1.2, so my daughter was not allowed. And there are some thrilling rides over there. I think the Vliegende Hollander is the most famous roller coaster there. The height for that is 1.32, so we couldn't go there. And there are also other rides called Hall of Fame and Joris and Vidrak. and Bayron. So these are all around 1.32. The ship ride, which is called Hall of Maine, is something for kids. The smaller kids can also go, but the parents have to be. There are also some family shows that happen. I can name a few. There's a Ramaline Park show, there's a Room Flood indoor show, there is a Symbolica show, and there's also a Dance Macabre show. So these are all indoor rides where you sit in a chair and then they take you around and you see everything happening around. Please remember, Dance Macabre is for 1.2 meters height and above. So if you have kids less than that, they're not allowed. I think it's a kind of a scary show that happens in the dark, and that's why they're not allowed. But yeah, I think each and every show is unique and they're really interesting. Yeah, but for these shows, it's inevitable that the queues are pretty long, ranging from 15 minutes to 50 minutes, so it takes quite a lot of time away from your day. So if you are on a single day trip, I'm sure you would miss some of them. So did we. We couldn't cover all the shows.
Hi, Alma.
One important tip for you is the app. They have an app. Please install it. In the app, you can see the live waiting time for each and every ride. And I would suggest install this app even before going to the park, so you already know the locations of the different rides you want to go. Make a list of it. See the like monitor the time, the wait time or each of them. You can also set some notifications based on the wait time. And I would, if you are willing to see some particular rides or roller coasters, make them your priority. Best time to go to Efteling. It's a personal choice on when you want to visit Efteling, but I've been to this park twice, and my preference is winter. There are two reasons for that. One, in winter, the park is open for longer hours, so you'll get some time to cover, some extra time to cover. The second reason is the musical fountain. In winter, it happens at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and with lights, it's super beautiful. That was our well spent day at Efteling. We had a really nice time and we always want to go back there again. I hope this video has given you information needed for your trip to plan in a better way. If you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe. See you until the next video. Bye.